Continuing with our M1A and M14 maintenance series, in this video we'll show you how to clean the M1A, beginning with the barrel. The first step is to clean the chamber using a special ratcheting chamber brush tool. The ratcheting action allows the brush to be rotated within the confines of the ejection port. To use the brush, simply insert it into the chamber, insert a rod or screwdriver into the hole in the base, and rotate the brush by working the handle back and forth. When done, simply pull the brush out with the handle. If the brush is difficult to remove, as is sometimes the case with a new one, you can use a cleaning rod in the barrel to exert pressure at the front of the brush while rotating it with the handle to ease it out. Next, we can move on to cleaning the bore. Due to the design of these rifles, we need to clean from the muzzle end. Some shooters prefer to pull the patches through by passing the rod through the barrel and fastening the patch at the breech end. If you prefer this approach, you may want to consider the Otis cleaning system. Today we'll be using a standard cleaning rod along with a Dewey bore guide made especially for the M1A to keep the rod centered in the bore. To begin, we'll run a solvent-soaked patch or a mop down the bore and let it sit for a few minutes to loosen things up. Then we can switch to a brush and run it back and forth through the bore, making 10 to 15 complete strokes. Next, we'll switch back to the jag and run a few patches with a bit of solvent on them to wipe out the bore. Then we'll run a clean, dry patch through and see how it looks. If the patch shows signs of dirt, you'll want to repeat the procedure until the last of the fouling is removed. Once the barrel is clean, we can wipe out the receiver with a rag, some solvent, and a brush to remove both accumulated fouling and old grease. There are a lot of nooks and crannies in this gun, so take your time and try to get as much of the dirt as you can. Once you're satisfied with the receiver, give the whole assembly a good wipe down and set it aside. Next, the bolt can be brushed using solvent as needed to remove any buildup. Be sure to check under the extractor, around the firing pin, and around the roller for dirt and carbon that could affect functioning. Once you're finished, wipe it down and set it aside. Once the bolt is cleaned, we can move on to the trigger group. It should be left assembled for regular cleaning. Normally, a bit of solvent and a good brushing is all that's needed. Be sure to lower the hammer and check underneath while you're using the brush. If you find a lot of residue hiding in the mechanism, you may want to use an aerosol cleaner like TCE or gun scrubber to help flush it out. You may be wondering about the gas system. It's normally left alone for routine cleaning, as it's considered to be serviceable as long as the piston moves back and forth freely. If it becomes necessary to remove the piston for cleaning or maintenance, Brownells carries a gas cylinder wrench and specialized piston cleaning tool to make the job easier. Now that we've finished cleaning, in our next video, we'll take a long look at how the M1A and M14 should be lubricated to keep them operating flawlessly.